All right, let's talk about a piece of tech that's doing a lot more than just changing workflows. It's literally changing lives. We're diving into Freed AI, a tool that's taking a direct shot at one of the biggest crises in medicine today, clinician burnout. This isn't just a story about a cool app, it's about a potential cure for a systemic problem. To really get why a tool like this is such a game changer, you have to start with this number: 19. 19 hours. That's how much time every single week doctors and therapists are spending on paperwork. That's not 2 hours, that's almost 2.5 full workdays spent with a keyboard instead of a patient. That's the soul-crushing problem at the heart of this whole story. And this is the promise of the solution. This quote from a user just cuts right through all the noise, doesn't it? It's not about shaving a few minutes off a task. It's about getting back to the entire reason they became a doctor in the first place. And, maybe just as important, getting their life back. Now, what makes this story so compelling is that Freed AI wasn't cooked up in some Silicon Valley boardroom to chase a trend. Nope, it started at a kitchen table, born out of years of watching someone you love just get buried by their job. Think about that. For 7 straight years, Erez Druk, an engineer who used to work at Meta, watched his wife, a family doctor, come home only to spend her nights and weekends glued to a laptop, catching up on patient notes. He saw a problem, and as an engineer, he knew there had to be a better way. This wasn't about finding a market, it was a mission. He wanted to give his wife her life back. And that personal mission, it just exploded. From its founding in early 2023, just look at this trajectory. It went from an idea to over 20,000 users in what feels like the blink of an eye. That kind of insane growth gets you noticed. It's what brings in a $30 million investment from a powerhouse like Sequoia Capital. This timeline isn't just about a company. It's proof of just how desperate clinicians were for this exact solution. Okay, so what is this thing actually doing? How does it turn a simple conversation into a perfectly formatted clinical note? Let's get into how the magic actually happens. Right, and this is the absolute key. This is not just a generic voice-to-text app on your phone. It's a purpose-built AI. That means it was trained specifically on thousands of hours of real medical conversations. It knows the difference between medical jargon and casual chit-chat. It learns your personal style, so the notes actually sound like you wrote them. And of course, the whole thing is built from the ground up to be secure and HIPAA compliant. And using it is ridiculously simple. It's basically 3 steps. 1. You tap a button to start recording the visit. 2. The AI listens in, transcribes everything, and then magically pulls out all the important stuff and organizes it into a professional soap note. And 3. You give it a quick once-over, make any tiny edits you want, and copy it into the patient's official record. That's it. It's designed to be completely seamless. And this right here really paints the picture, doesn't it? The before and after. You go from this soul-draining cycle of late nights, endless clicking in the EHR and having to look at your screen instead of your patient, to a world where you can just have a natural, human conversation. You can focus, you can leave work on time. The goal isn't just faster notes, it's about bringing back the actual joy of being a doctor. Look, the features are cool, the tech is impressive, but the real story, the one that really hits home, comes from the clinicians themselves. These aren't just product reviews, they are stories about a fundamental shift in their entire lives. I mean, listen to this therapist on Reddit. You know the first question everyone has? Yeah, but is it actually good? And the answer here is a resounding yes. It wasn't just accurate, the killer detail is that it actually sounded like me. That's the holy grail. That's when it stops feeling like a tool and starts feeling like a true assistant. And this is what it's really all about, isn't it? Being able to close your computer and just be done. To go home and have your kids get all of you, not the exhausted, burnt-out version. It's about getting your weekends back. That simple act is a freedom so many in healthcare have completely lost. And this one, wow, this brings it all full circle. That crushing administrative burden, it doesn't just steal your time, it steals your passion. For this doctor, Freed wasn't just a time saver. It literally saved their career by reminding them why they fell in love with medicine in the first place. Okay, but it can't all be perfect, right? With any technology this disruptive, you have to ask the hard questions. It's not all seamless. So let's flip the coin and look at the real concerns people have. This question, pulled straight from a user forum, just cuts right to the heart of the anxiety. Is the convenience of this thing worth $100 a month? And, way more importantly, Are you trading that convenience for a massive privacy and liability headache? These are absolutely valid fears. Okay, let's break this debate down. First up, cost. On one hand, $100 a month out of your own pocket is not nothing. But on the other, a human scribe can cost you $2,000 a month or more, so the value is there. Then there's privacy. The company has all the right certifications, HIPAA compliance, SOC 2, but you still have to get patient consent, and that fear of a data breach is always going to be there. How about accuracy? Users are saying it's incredibly good, like 90–95% accurate, but it's still an AI. It can hallucinate or miss a subtle piece of context, which is why that final review by the clinician is absolutely non-negotiable. And finally, data use. This is the classic tech trade-off. Your de-identified data helps train the AI to be better for everyone. But the terms and conditions allowing them to use or sell that aggregated data makes some people really uneasy. So where is all this headed? Well, let me tell you, Freed AI has no intention of just stopping at clinical notes. The ambition here is much, much bigger than that. Just take a look at this roadmap. This is where things get really wild. We're talking about an evolution from a scribe into a true AI assistant. Imagine an AI that doesn't just rate the notes after the visit, but preps you on the patient's history before they even walk in the door. An AI that suggests the correct billing codes, which is a nightmare for clinicians, and then automatically drafts the referral letters and patient instructions for you. This is about automating the entire administrative layer of medicine. And that leaves us with a really big, fascinating question to chew on. As tools like this become as common in an exam room as a stethoscope, are we just finding a powerful cure for the symptom, which is burnout? Or are we on the verge of fundamentally redefining the art of medicine itself? What does it mean to be a doctor when an AI is handling so much of the work? That's something we'll all be watching.